Hi everyone, David Burgess here again with Keller Williams Realty. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel on this glorious morning here in Lakewood Ranch. Got the sunrise right behind me. It's a very bright and early start, but I have a new construction market update for you and yeah, what's been going on in 2022 so far? Luckily, unfortunately, you'll be very glad to hear that there are some changes on the horizon. There is definitely more opportunity that is opening up pretty much across the board. I mean, you know, not everywhere by any means, but we are definitely seeing some changes and some subtle differences, a few more incentives as well, which means that I think we might be over that peak of where things were definitely towards the end of 2021, maybe the very start of this year, but I feel like we're over that hump now, and it's really a case of what is out there and where is the best bang for your buck right now. There is definitely less bidding going on. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a new format for you, and I'm going to run through all of the builders that I'm working with right now, go over my experiences, if I've had any problems with closings, with delays, that kind of thing. And you know, I'm going to mention a few new communities that are on the horizon as well with certain builders. So stick around, we're covering all things new construction today. Right then, so let's start with Taylor Morrison, and I'm working with more Taylor Morrison homes right now than any other builder, so I thought it would be a good place to start. I have a handful of homes being built in the Sky Ranch community in Sarasota, and another handful in the Palmetto area for the Artisan Lakes community with Esplanade. So I want to go through a few things here. Firstly, no bidding. Like Taylor Morrison, if we start off in Sky Ranch here, look at all these homes behind me here. There's a full spectrum of homes from the, you have the Anastasias, there's plenty of Anastasias, you have Antiguas, you have the Tortola, the Amelia, Bonaire, the San Key. There's a wide range of homes here where you can go to contract right away. Now, not all of these homes have been kicking around a while. A couple of them have, but we're at the start of a new month now, and these homes have just been released, but they are first come, first served. So they are definitely, this is signs of buyers pushing back, guys. This is signs of buyers saying, look, I might be okay paying top dollar for my home, but when you're going to customize everything and I cannot choose the lot and the time frame may not work for me, then I may just hold off. And this is what's going on right now. So, which is great to see. It is really good to see. And of course, interest rates may be playing a part in that too. But I will come on to that in a second as well, because Taylor Morrison they have just come out with an incentive. But even next door at the Esplanade community with Sky Ranch, if you look at all of these Ibis villas, look at all these Lazio floor plans. I mean, the Lazio is one of the Esplanade's most popular floor plan, and they have homes there where you can go to contract right away. Now, some of these lots aren't going to be very desirable, and no doubt about it, even the homes that are at the top end, the ones that are on the best lots are going to go first. But it's really interesting to see that you can see this list here of homes where you can go to contract right away, and there's no bidding or wait lists or anything like that, which is just something we've been craving for such a long time. If we go north, if we go up to Tampa and we go to River's Edge, you can see this list of homes. These are all beautiful luxury homes that are, you know, you have the Acadia, the Encanto, you know, those types of floor plans, the Humboldt. You can go to contract with them right away, but they're all in the kind of $1 million plus range, and although they are bigger homes, their lots aren't the best. And I do feel like if these homes were on better lots, they would also have sold better than what they have. These homes have all been on the market for at least 3 or 4 weeks now, and they've been on the MLS and they've been everywhere. People clearly aren't interested. So what happens in situations like that? Well, unfortunately, what you very, very rarely see are price decreases. If people are expecting these prices to drop, they very, very rarely do. What they might do is drop the lot price a little bit. Sometimes you can be very fortunate where they might just bring the price down on the lot. I have seen that once or twice over the last couple of years, if they're not having the right amount of sales or meeting their quota. But yeah, what you're gonna start seeing are incentives. Now, Taylor Morrison has just brought out an incentive where you can lock in your interest rate for a year. Now, this isn't as clean cut as what it looks. I think it's basically, from what I can understand, they do charge you 1% of the purchase price up front, and then they credit it back to you at closing to do this, and they cap it at $6,400. And $6,400 is not going to cover 1% of a lot of their homes. So I would, obviously that's not my area of expertise. Definitely speak to Taylor Morrison Funding about that, and also compare it to any other lender that you have a relationship with that you might just want to make some comparisons with certain fees and interest rates and all that good stuff. But it is very promising that we are starting to see incentives hit, on the horizon now. What happens from here? If sales slow down, the next thing what will happen with a builder like Taylor Morrison is they will stop building spec homes across the board, and they'll start bringing back full customizations for their homes. That will be the next step, but we haven't seen that just yet. Still across the board, everything is still a spec home. So we are starting to see some change now. I know there's another bit of change on the horizon, because the Azario community in Lakewood is probably the hottest community I have ever come across. Working with a lady at the moment who has bid 5 times out of the last 6 months that she's been able to, and she's been turned down every time until last week, where she got an accepted email with her offer. And a Palazzo home in there is going to run anywhere from like 1.25 to around 1.4 million, depending on the lot. And you can see this letter behind me here, which is more rare than a golden ticket from the Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but yeah, it's so good to see. She was over the moon, and yeah, so I have tried to help so many buyers in this community. There have been so many bids, and every single one of them has been turned down until my buyer recently, last week actually, got the chance to move forward. And she wasn't the number one bid. The first person pulled out, so she was number 2 in line. And we are starting to see a bit of that as well, where people make bids, and then they're kind of, it's like you've got 24 hours to move forward. Now's the time to pull the trigger, and people kind of freeze a little bit, and then they walk away for whatever reason. Maybe it's just too much pressure, maybe the timing just hasn't worked out, but sometimes people are pushing the envelope with their offers, and then turning their backs on it and walking away. So yeah, that is Taylor Morrison. Now, with the homes I'm working with, I'm working with a Beacon floor plan at the moment. That's had some delays. This is a beautiful home. This has to be one of Taylor Morrison's most kind of popular floor plans. It's one of their more grand estate homes. This one we were really hoping was going to be ready in the kind of around now, actually, anywhere from like April to May. But it's we still don't have the drywall up yet, and it's probably going to be July, August time. But this is a beautiful home in Sky Ranch, and I have a wide range being built in here at the moment, from a Lazio, in Esplanade, to an Ibis Villa, a Marigold townhouse, a Santa Rosa, all of them. Literally, I've got so many different floor plans being built with them, but most of them are ready towards the end of this year. So I cannot really comment too much on their delays, other than this Beacon floor plan, which has had, it's probably 60 to 90 days beyond what we initially anticipated, which was around 9 months. So yeah, that is Taylor Morrison, and I'm now going to move on to Pulte Homes. So Pulte have some good opportunity. What I like about Pulte is they have a mixture of spec homes and to-be-built homes. So most of their communities are going to have a lot of spec homes where you can go to contract pretty much right away, and the homes are going to be ready within 3 or 4 months. They start to sell them usually around the kind of drywall phase, so they're already like a few months into the build. And then they do have homes where you can go and customize everything and wait 9 to 10 months. What is also good about Pulte is they don't seem to be taking as long to build a home as other builders. Some builders, which I'm going to come on to a bit further on, have really taken a long time, and 2 or 3 of them are notorious for that. But Pulte, everything I've been working with Pulte is ready at the end of this year or very early next year, and I haven't come across any delays. We just had this recent closing in Del Webb in Parish, with the Bayview community. This was a very smooth closing with this wonderful couple right behind me. My wife took the reins on that one, and yeah, there was a couple of little bumps in the road, but overall buyers were super happy with the home. And yeah, I have got a couple of other Del Webb homes being built at the moment. One up in Land O'Lakes in Bexley and another one in Lakewood Ranch, but they're not, I haven't had any issues with the one up in Bexley. That's going to be ready in the next couple of months, and the one in Lakewood isn't ready till the end of the year. But yeah, so with Pulte, another thing I really like is that they build pools, so you can still add a pool with them. With Taylor Morrison and quite a lot of other builders, you cannot add a pool. Now, their pool packages are going to be more basic. You're not going to be able to customize and design absolutely everything. They may only have a handful of options and designs for you, but for most people that will be absolutely more than fine for what they offer. But yeah, it's always good if you can to kind of enroll that pool payment into your mortgage, or with the build process if you're paying cash. But in terms of opportunity with Pulte, in Lakewood, where I am right now, Shoreview has a new phase opening, which is great because they haven't really sold many homes in a while, other than the homes that are on the lake there, which are very high end. The lot premiums have gone from the 400 to the 700,000 range lately, which has priced many people out. But they have a new community called Avanti, which is going to be opening soon, and other communities of opportunity. If we start up in Tampa, Epperson, which is the Crystal Lagoon community, they have a new phase opening there as well. They also have in North River Ranch in Parish and in Hammock Crest, which is Riverview Lithia. It's on the border there. They have a lovely community there, which is going to have A-rated schools in Lithia. So Pulte do have some good communities on the horizon. I would absolutely look at their communities, and I may be missing out 1 or 2. Whispering Pines is another one up in Land O'Lakes that I would look at, but that's probably not going to be ready till 2023. And Magnolia Ranch in Bradenton, that also has some good opportunity to move forward too. So they have some excellent options. I would definitely keep Pulte in mind. Even places like Sapphire Point here, they are still bidding on some of their homes in their most hottest communities. In the others, they're either going to be first come first serve, or they might have a tiny little wait list. It just depends on the community. So what I do like about Pulte is they kind of tailor the way that the method of selling their homes depending on their interest list, which is awesome. So I've got a lot of time for Pulte in these times right now. Moving on to MI Homes now. I am not feeling the opportunity with MI Homes right now. I'm a big advocate for MI Homes. I really like them as a builder. I own an MI home myself, but everything is a lottery, everything. So if you look at the Sweetwater community here in Lakewood, they had like over 1,000 people show an interest in moving forward, and I guess that what I like about it, I have to sympathise with them, because they don't want to go down the bidding path. They don't want to put people on a huge wait list. They're trying to do things via a lottery, but you try and plan and prep to move home via a lottery. It's near enough impossible, and it doesn't matter if you are. It just doesn't matter where you're coming from, what your time frame is. You cannot be relying on a lottery. So yeah, I'm not feeling the vibes with MI Homes at the moment. The one place where they do have good opportunity is the Berry Bay community in Waimama. That's going to be a big community, and they're going to be building hundreds of homes there with the Smart Plan series. If you're looking for a bigger home like the Mira-Lago, the Dali, those kind of homes where they're 3,000 square feet plus, where you can have a double master bedroom, one upstairs and one downstairs, I would look at that community, because the prices are going to be more reasonable there, and and you can pretty much move forward right away. I do know the sales agents that will be working in there, in Angelica and Jesse, and you know, I've had really good success with connecting with them and really just sliding buyers in early doors, and now is definitely the opportunity for that. The other community is where there is a bit of opportunity is the River Wilderness community in Parish, which is Cypress Glen, I think they've called it. They've actually bought the lots from Lee Wetherington. There's like a corner of that community where you can, where they're basically going to be selling homes very, very soon. But it's kind of on the corner of Fort Hamer Road and Old Tampa Road, and you've got to be a bit careful with the lots there, because you're probably going to hear a bit of traffic in the distance. But if you can stay away from that corner, then I would keep that community in mind as well. Moving on to Tampa Bay's very own Homes by West Bay. I am working with a couple of buyers at the moment in the Creek Ridge Preserve community in Lithia. These are beautiful, bigger homes on spacious lots that are, you know, very, very desirable floor plans, like the Key Largo and the Madeira, those types of homes. Great schools, but they're all in the kind of $1 million+ range, and there is opportunity there to move forward right away. But again, you cannot customize anything for the most part, at least. I think with some of them you can design them depending on how far along they are, but you cannot change the structural options, and definitely not the lots. So for a lot of those homes you cannot really do too much with, but that's a very nice community. I have covered that on this channel before. You can move forward in there right away, but everything else with West Bay is bidding pretty much. But they have got some, you know, they do have a new phase on the horizon in Bexley, in Land O'Lakes. They've got a new community opening up with the Sanctuary in Brandon. Again, that's going to be similar to Creek Ridge in the sense that it's going to be bigger lots. It's going to be that artisan collection of homes with the concrete tiled roofs, the paved driveways, and more spacious lots and bigger homes. So yeah, you have those two communities. You also have Crosswind Point in Parish. There's a lot of villas in Crosswind Point, and if you're looking for like a smaller home, they have some. I've never seen West Bay build a villa before, but these villas look really nice, and they're going to have a lot on the horizon. And on May the 7th is when you can move forward with those. If you want any information on that, just let me know and I can send it to you. But the new community opens in the next few days, and yeah, they have some single family homes as well, but it is going to have a lot of villas. But those villas are in the kind of 400,000 range, and they're in a great location. It is a very up and coming part of Parish, very close to the downtown area part of Parish, which is really going to blossom over the next few years. So I would definitely keep your eye on there. And then outside of that, you do have Northwood Estates in Valrico, but their lots are not very deep, and you cannot build a pool on a lot of them. So I haven't had any joy selling homes in that Northwood Estates in Valrico. So yeah, with West Bay, for the most part, it's bidding, and I haven't had any closings recently to say if they've had any delays or anything lately. But yeah, other than the Creek Ridge Preserve community, I would expect to be bidding in there. I did just actually lose out on a bid in the Hawkstone community for a Pelican floor plan, where this home was on for $693,000, I think it was, and it ended up selling for $757,000. I'm only going by what the agents told me. It hasn't closed officially yet, but our bid was in the kind of 715, 720 range, and it wasn't. I mean, the buyers loved it. They would love to have moved forward, and it was a model home, but they didn't want to go super over the board, and we kind of had the hunch that we weren't going to win it. But yeah, at 757, they were happy to move on and look at other options. So yeah. Now moving on to Neal Communities. Neal Communities have such a huge presence in Manatee and Sarasota County. I really do like Neal as a builder. They don't entertain bidding as well. They are all about the wait list. I say they're all about the wait list. For their hottest communities, the newest communities, you will have to go on a wait list, but they have a lot of integrity about them, and they will absolutely get you in as soon as they possibly can. Where I am seeing opportunity with them at the moment is in Canoe Creek in Parish. You know, that's one of my favourite communities because the HOA is super affordable, no CDD, natural gas, gated community, a lovely pool and fitness centre, and for like 100, it depends. I think it depends on the size of home that you have there, but I think it's something like $150 a month for the HOA. It's just very, very affordable and reasonable, and they have a wide range of really nice floor plans too. You can go to contract with them right away. They did have a wait list of homes. I think they still have a wait list for certain people that want certain types of homes and that want to be in, you know, certain lots and certain streets and that kind of thing. But at the start of every month, you will see a list come out, and you know, they do add pools as well. You can see here behind me the Dream, for example. You can have a pool home there, and the Bright Meadow, the Kiowa. The Kiowa floor plan is up in the $1 million range now, especially with the bonus room. But everything else in there is really going to be in that kind of 600 to 800 range in Parish, in Canoe Creek. And yeah, Canoe Creek is low taxes and low fees, so I would definitely keep that community in mind. I did recently cover the Parish versus Venice, and Venice has a lot of Neal Communities. So Neal Communities. So they have, you know, like Wisteria and Avelina. They have Aria, which is Neal's Signature, and Neal's Signature are also going to be opening a new community towards the end of this year in Lakewood called the Alcove. And that is with Neal's Signature. That's still part of the Neal brand, but you can customize everything with Neal's Signature. They will move walls, they will do anything you want, anything built-in features. They can do everything. I was really impressed with Neal's Signature. I've got one home being built in Aria down in Venice at the moment with them, and yeah, they will do a lot of things that most builders won't in these times. So yeah, definitely keep Neal Communities in mind, but don't expect a bid with them because they don't allow it, which is good to see. So yeah, Neal Communities I have a lot of time for. Pulte Homes, I tell you, talk about a builder that will just send you to sleep. They'll wow you with their beautiful floor plans. You go to Artistry down in Sarasota. I've yet to meet somebody who hasn't gone in there and been really wowed by the floor plans, the beautiful community. Like 90% of their lots are on beautiful water views, spacious home sites. Their wait list is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And not only is it a huge wait list to move forward in that community, once you get under contract, do not expect the home to be built anytime soon. Artistry, the last people I took in Artistry was in February, and I had already pre-warned them. I said to them, look, there's a wait list to be able to move forward in here. And everyone else before then, they'd said, yeah, it's going to be a few months. And I was thinking, this isn't going to be a few months, it's going to be like 9 months, maybe even a year before you can move forward in Artistry. And they've now started quoting 9 months. But I have people that are on a wait list in there from 6 to 7 months ago that still haven't had a phone call to say they can move forward in there. They sell a handful of homes a month, and they must have thousands of people on their list, and I mean thousands. And yes, admittedly, a lot of those people have fallen asleep now. They might have even passed away from just absolute boredom of waiting for Pulte and Artistry. I know that sounds harsh, and yeah, but it's unbelievable how long. It's just very dejecting the amount of people I have taken by in there, and I don't feel like they've been very transparent with telling people the true situation of how long you have to wait there. I had a closing in there in December for a Renoir floor plan, and that was 14 months of build time, when they told the buyers it was going to be about 9 months. And in the Crestwind community in Lakewood, that is another community which has a long wait list. I have a couple I'm working with who we got under contract last April for the A-list floor plan, and this is where it's at a year later, and we don't know if we're going to be in for Thanksgiving yet. And they've moved down here, they're in an apartment locally, and they're very much feeling the frustration of waiting. So if you love Pulte Homes, just realise that you are going to be waiting a very, very long time, not just to move forward, but during the build process as well. And the other frustration with them is the construction managers who are helpful, don't get me wrong, but they've now got this policy with Pulte Homes where you have to go through the sales agent if you want to connect about your home and discuss what the process is. The sales agents aren't, they don't care as much, to be honest. They more care about their next sale than the one that's right in front of them, and it's not their area of expertise. They don't really know what stage they're at, and you're going to get responses from them, but you really want to be speaking directly to the construction manager. Let's have it right. And they have now they're towing the company line of, we don't want to hold them back. We want to try to speed things along, and we don't want them spending time talking to the buyers. But I think that rapport between the buyer and the construction manager is really important, and the realtor as well. But I've tried contacting the construction manager and I cannot get through, so I have to go through the sales agent. So Pulte Homes, if you love falling asleep and want to wait a long time, anything with them is definitely going to be at least in the summer of 2024 now. And look, if they're the right home for you and you just love everything about them, then that's great. But yeah, things can change over a couple of years. Anything could happen from now to at least mid 2024, and I cannot even. It's hard for me to think about 2023 at the moment, let alone 2024. So yeah, that's Pulte Homes. Sorry I don't have much positive things to say about them. GL Homes, now I love GL Homes. I've got a lot of time for GL Homes, but they have a beautiful community up in Winding Ridge in Wesley Chapel, which is coming to an end now, and there's hundreds and hundreds of people on a lottery again. So if you are trying to make plans to move here and you fall in love with their homes, they've got many beautiful floor plans, then you're going to be waiting a long time, pretty much. I mean, you might get very, very lucky and win in the lottery, but that community is pretty much done now. They are building a brand new, not a new phase next door, they're building a new ridge. They have the original ridge, then Winding Ridge, and then I'm guessing the next one's going to be a different ridge, but yeah, that is next door, and that's going to be coming in 2023. So not really great opportunity there up in Winding Ridge and Wesley Chapel. They do have the 55 plus community in Waimama, Valencia del Sol. We do have one buyer building in there right now that got under contract a month or so ago. They were on a wait list, but they got to move forward eventually. But they were looking at one of the bigger homes in there and not the smaller ones. But for the smaller homes in there, you can move forward pretty much right away, but that community is coming to an end very, very soon. Moving on to Medallion Homes, and Medallion, I do have one Medallion home being built at the moment in the reserve at Twin Rivers in Parish. I've sold a handful of homes in here. I love this community. I'm going to be sad once it phases out. Actually, they've only got a handful of home sites left, but I do have this Casos home being built, which should be ready in the next 2 or 3 months. I've never really had any big issues with Medallion. I'm always working with the same construction manager in that area, and he's very personable. He always gets things done. His name's John. You've probably met him before if you're familiar with Medallion. He seems to be their main construction manager, and he's just great, very chilled out. He's not defensive. He's not one of these people that kind of just gets short-tempered or is ever stressed. He's very laid back and he gets everything done. So I do like Medallion, and but the prices in this community are going up. If we look at this Aruba floor plan, this is in a 900,000 range now, and this is the smallest floor plan they have in the community. This is around 40,000, 50,000 more than what my buyer paid for the Casos floor plan, which is bigger. The Casos is bigger, it's a bigger home. So it's about 300 or 400 square feet bigger. So you can see how high the prices have got in there. And there are resale homes in there now that are like in the 1.3 million range in that community. It's incredible to see how much that has grown. But it's custom homes with low fees, no CDD fee, low HOA, no CDD fees, you know, there's no amenities, but it's gated and it has a lot of features what people are looking for. So if you're looking for that quieter lifestyle, that is what this community is all about, and people will pay good money for that. But next door at Cross Creek, we are going to have a new phase opening very, very soon with Medallion Homes. That's going to be their smaller floor plans. I would expect to see them on the horizon in the next 3 months or so. And other than that, Hampton Lakes in Sarasota, there is a wait list for their community. These are homes on, this is like acreage, guys. If you're looking for acreage, anywhere from like 3 to 10 acres of land with a custom home, then I thoroughly recommend you check out Hampton Lakes. There is like I said, there is a wait list. You're probably going to be looking at moving in there at the third or fourth quarter of next year, but you'll probably be able to get under contract within the next 3 months with them. And again, Medallion are custom. You can customize anything you wish with them. You can in Hampton Lakes at least. I'm not so sure about the reserve at Twin Rivers now. They're coming to an end. That may just be spec homes, but you shouldn't be bidding. It should be a first come first served basis with Medallion. They're not about bidding. So yeah, keep Medallion in mind. Meritage, I am working with a couple of buyers in the Venice Woodlands community right now, down in Venice. Beautiful community, it really is. Has some lovely lots, beautiful trees and ponds. No CDD fee, which is awesome. And Meritage offer a wide range of floor plans there. I'd say the Maya and the Pomelo are the two most popular. They're the single story homes. You can have a 2 or a 3 car garage, and Meritage are really known for their energy efficiency. So I would keep Meritage in mind, especially in that community in Venice Woodlands. And their other hot community, of course, is Savannah in Lakewood Ranch. Both of them are just wait lists, no bidding. I would expect both of them to have a pretty strong interest list, but like every other community, people are falling off these lists because they get impatient or they look elsewhere. I would expect the Venice Woodlands community actually to have a slightly longer list than Savannah. I did just help this lovely couple from Baltimore in Venice Woodlands, who were very patient. They'd waited a few months and they got exactly the home they wanted, the Maya, and on the lot they really wanted, with some beautiful trees and water behind them. And I am helping another couple who close in June, but at the moment we haven't had any issues with the construction process in Venice Woodlands. But just going back to Savannah, I would expect that interest list to be lower than the one in Venice Woodlands. Venice Woodlands is like the lowest price single family homes you can really find in Venice with lower fees. So I would expect that interest list in Savannah to be less, because there's so many distractions around Lakewood. You're going to find other single family homes, bigger single family homes, and in Savannah a lot of them are 2-story, bigger 3,000 square feet homes. So I would keep that in mind, that in Savannah you probably have a bit better opportunity than the Venice Woodlands community, although they're very, very different and will be inevitably different for different people, and what their criteria is. So that is Medallion and then Meritage Homes. And then as we move on, William Ryan Homes in Parish, they have a brand new community on the horizon in T Olive Terrace, and they're not 3-car garage homes, they're all 2-car garage, but they have these impact resistant windows as standard. This is a pocket neighborhood, guys. They have squeezed this in, and it's right behind the Buffalo Creek golf course community. And yeah, it's called T Olive Terrace at the fairways, and I think you're not going to have too many homes in here, but they've got some nice lots. But to the left hand side they have power lines kind of running through, which are a bit off-putting, you know, they do have some wonderful floor plans, like, you know, the Sweetwater and the Juniper. They're very, very popular, so I would keep that community on the horizon, and their size range is going to be like 1,600 square feet to 3,500 square feet. So you've got a lot of different floor plans to choose. But if you're looking for that central location in Palmetto, which is right next door to Parish and right by I-75, that might be a good community for you. And the price ranges there are going to be probably in the 500,000 to 600,000 range all in. Of course, their other community is is in Cross Creek, and I just helped this lovely couple, and this is me and Valerie here, just with a closing that we had, and that was very, very smooth with their home that they closed on a couple of months ago. Didn't really have any issues. I was actually quite impressed with the process with them. A couple of delayed, I mean slightly delayed, I would say, you know, maybe by 6 weeks or so, but overall the home was great. We did the walkthrough, there was no issues, and there is still opportunity there in Cross Creek. Not much. A lot of the lots that are in there are kind of back to back, where the homes are you know, they're spacious lots, but they have a neighbour right behind them. So so you might want to kind of wait and go on the wait list there for the better lots, but there's probably only a handful, maybe 20 lots left in there, if that, maybe more, 10 to 15. But yeah, that is William Ryan Homes. And thanks for bearing with me, by the way, guys. There's a lot of builders to go over, and this is probably my longest video that I'm ever putting together, but hopefully this will be covering the builders that are on your radar, or that you're under contract with, or that that you're most familiar with, and you're just keeping on top of the market. But DR Horton, now DR Horton just have a huge presence absolutely everywhere. Again, they're not about bidding, they are very much about the first come first served basis, but they only sell homes at the stage 5 phase, and stage 5, like a stage 5 clinger, they will only go to contract when they're there, and that's pretty much at the drywall phase. But they do go under contract, so you can get on a wait list at stage 3 and stage 4, which kind of leads up to it. But they have all these stages, and that's how they sell their homes. Star Farms in Lakewood is going to be a really good test case for how sales go with DR Horton. That is the highest price community for DR Horton homes that I know of and have come across, and with their homes being more basic, it's fair to say that they are more basic. For homes that are well in the 700 plus range, it's going to be very interesting to see how well they sell. But right now you can see there's a list behind me of homes you can go to contract with right away, and yeah, it looks to me like I think they might just struggle a little bit. I think in certain communities like Star Farms, although it's a brilliant location and it has the schools and everything that Lakewood has to offer, I'm not so sure how well they're going to sell. They do have some other communities on the horizon, like Coddington in Bradenton's on Rye Road there. That looks like a brand new community that's going to open very soon. And then we have the Mangrove Manor community in Apollo Beach. Of course, there's many others, and I'd be here all day trying to cover DR Horton. They open a new community every month by the looks of things. But yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how sales go with them, because their prices have really escalated over the last couple of years, and I feel like they're one of the builders that will probably struggle the most actually when things start to level off. David Weekley. Now, I am working with a buyer at the moment who we've had a few issues with the construction and really just the anticipated closing date. We were fortunate enough to move forward with this beautiful Edinger home and on a beautiful lot. And the way that David Weekley sell homes, they do things very differently. They basically have a first come first served basis, but it's via a link, and you have to just jump online, and it's like 2 o'clock on a Thursday or a Friday, and they say the first one that fills out the application we move forward with. So I was very I had a really good first experience with that. With this couple from Louisiana on this beautiful home, and then next door I tried to help another couple, and they were unsuccessful, and they were on it. They were absolutely on it. They jumped on it, and they were really unhappy with the situation, but they missed out. So it's not good if you've been waiting for a while and then you miss out, because it's just the way it is. That's how they do it, and they don't try to take responsibility for it. They kind of put it on the technology, and you must have been a bit too slow to fill out the application, where I'm not so sure. It's a bit hit and miss, to be honest. But yeah, going back to the one that I am under contract with, we have had some issues with the master bathroom. With the tile situation. David Weekley weren't very happy with the tile in there. I actually struggled to see what the issues were at first, but when I actually got in there with the construction manager, you could see there was a little bit off of their standard and their templates, the way that they stagger their tiles and their yeah, I guess their standards of how they construct their homes they weren't happy with, so they had to redo this whole bathroom. But now that that's been completed, we're on track and we'll be closing next month. So as long as it does, my buyers will be happy. But if it goes into June, they're really not going to be happy. But other than that, you know, they do have some opportunity in Waterset and Apollo Beach, in the Chapel Crossings community in Wesley Chapel, and of course, yes, Copeland Creek in Odessa. Now, I was hoping that the prices in Copeland Creek in Odessa for their bigger homes on bigger lots were going to be less than where they are, but they're pretty high. And although it's a pocket neighborhood, I'm sure they'll sell very well. I mean, they're a little bit higher than what I was hoping they were going to be. But if you are looking to be up in that Odessa area, I would look at that Copeland Creek, because other than Starkey Ranch up there's not really anywhere else, you know, that you can build a bigger home, and it's probably going to be more affordable in Copeland Creek than Starkey. So just things to think about with David Weekley. But as we start to wrap up, guys, the other mentions of builders, Stock Signature in Lake Club. I sold my first $2 million home well, around February. I say sold, it's under contract. But yeah, when that one closes, beers are on me. But yeah, now if you had a budget of 2 million, you would expect that things would be different for you, but they're not. Guys, if you have a $2 million budget in this market, things are very similar. This wonderful couple came down from Chicago, and they really wanted to be here this year, and they had a $2 million budget, and we looked at homes in Lakewood and they were so meh. Like there was 2 or 3 of them that were just so average, and they really didn't give us any wow factor. And although they were here for a day looking at homes, they loved the area and really wanted a newer home, but they didn't want to wait for a newer home. But we went and saw builders anyway. We went and met with Stock Signature, and they were like, look, we got the perfect home for you, but it's not ready this year. It's going to be ready next April, and you cannot change anything. You cannot customize anything. This is how it is. Luckily, he fell in love with it, but even at that price point, you cannot change anything. You cannot change your countertops, your cabinets, your flooring. This home is going to be absolutely beautiful. It's the Chandler 4 with Stock Signature, and it's coming out at 2.55, and it's going to be on a beautiful lot, and it's going to have a casita in the back, like an in-law suite at the back. Just beautiful all round. It truly is in Lake Club, which is Lakewood's most exclusive community. So I was so happy for them, and yeah, they moved forward with it. But that's not ready until next April. But with the same builder, I am helping a couple from Arizona right now for the Birchwood floor plan, and this one is taking a while. We've been under contract for this one for over a year now, and this is where we're at right now, and it's still going to take a little while. So they've been feeling the frustration, and I do feel for them a little bit. Don't get me wrong, they're very happy with the home purchase. They got in right at the kind of start of the market really escalating, but yeah, for those Stock Signature homes, it's the prices have really gone up, and really, it is going to take at least a good year from here to move, to actually close on the home, and you're not going to be able to customize anything. Outside of those, just wrapping up with other builders, I am working with Toll Brothers and Homes by Town at the moment as well in Lakewood. Just one home on each of those, but they're further out. Toll Brothers, you can move forward with them right away, but their lot premiums are pretty high. And their base prices are, it's hard to get under contract with them now for less than like 1.4, 1.3, unless you're going with a much smaller home. And the Isles there is just a very sought after community, being on University Parkway there. And then Homes by Town, I do have one home under construction, but it's only just started, and they do have a new phase opening around the back there of the community. So there will be more opportunity with Homes by Town. But that's pretty much it, guys. Honestly, there's always so much to cover here, and I didn't want to go on forever, but I was trying to keep this video in under 30 minutes, which I'm hopeful that I've done. And yeah, look, ultimately, there is change on the horizon, and there is better opportunity. But for the homes that are for the communities that are in the most sought after areas that are super popular, there is still going to be a very high demand for those homes. And pretty much, you know, because I know people are concerned about interest rates, but a lot of those communities, the people that are coming from them have a lot of equity or cash behind them, and they're not the ones that are affected by it. But other communities, we can see where there are implications, and that means that opportunity is opening up, which is great to see, and we've really, really needed it. I would honestly say, like, you know, towards the end of last year and the very start of this year is the hardest and most difficult market I've ever seen, especially in the resale market as well. And I'll leave a resale market update for another time. But look, let me know what you're after. Let me know what you're interested in. For certain types of homes, it's going to be difficult, but for others, there is great opportunity. So let's explore your options, and let's see how I can help during your process if you're looking to move to the area. All of my contact information is below, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in all things Florida real estate on the West Coast. Have a great day. Take care.